I have my mic muted. That's why you couldn't hear me. Can you
No,
hear me
okay.
now?
Yes, yes.
All right. Welcome back to the 0 Hour Show. Tonight we're going to be breaking down real world survival skills and preparedness strategies and the mindset needed to handle whatever the world throws at you. I'm your host, Outdoorman, and tonight we've got a very special guest joining us tonight. So many of you have already known from YouTube channel. Please go and welcome the creator of Frontier Survival, the channel dedicated to bushcraft, fieldcraft, and outdoor. Thanks for being here today, Heath.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Appreciate being here.
Now, for folks tuning in and may not be with Chief, can you give us a quick intro of what is Frontier Survival all about and what inspired you to kind of start your series and everything?
Well, I mean, I was born and raised in East Kentucky. And I mean, if you go to my About page on the channel, you pretty much see exactly what it's about. But I was raised up along by my grandparents a lot of the times. They showed me a lot of what it has to do with being prepared, and it kind of got started from there. They were preppers before prepping was cool, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then I got into the Boy Scouts, was a U.S. Army veteran, and that kind of helped me dive into the world of what we call bushcraft these days, campcraft, whatever it is you like to call it. So I mean, I'm kind of a prepper at first, and then I throw bushcraft stuff in there as well. But we're just a channel. We haven't yet anyway, like instructed or anything other than in our videos. If you've learned anything from these videos, then that's good. But we're not like a wilderness survival instructor or anything like that. I actually hold down a 9-to-5 day job at a hardware store that I manage. So, it is what it is, but we just kind of love what we do. We love the kind of the entertainment aspect of a YouTube channel as well. So we hope to, that we do entertain you as much as give you any type of knowledge that we can spread as well. But I
definitely enjoyed your bushcraft style videos.
Right.
And your haversack bag, the video you just came out with, I really enjoyed that video you put out recently.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. I appreciate that, and I really enjoyed putting that together. I also want to go ahead. I haven't got to really mention it, but I appreciate you inviting me on as a guest. So just want to throw that out there as well.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're able to make it, Heath, and thank you for your service, by the way, as being a military veteran as well.
Yeah, thank you. You're very
welcome. And I did want you mentioned it a little bit, and you did bring up a good point. A lot of people from the Appalachian region were preppers before prepping kind of became this major, big movement that we're seeing in America today.
And when I'm saying prepping, I'm not talking about doomsday prepping, y'all. I'm talking about more common sense type stuff. We've gotten away from that in a lot of places. Common sense in general. We need to, make sense common again is what we need to do. Make America great again and make sense common again.
And you're really seeing that with like natural disasters and that we're having every day now with natural disasters, hurricanes, wildfires. It's nice to be prepared. Right. You don't have to be a doomsday prepper, but just have the preparedness set back in case something would happen and arise.
That where it is the season for power outages for sure. And with winter storms as well coming, possibly, you never know. Hurricanes, things like that. The remnants of hurricanes have affected Appalachia in the last few years. East Kentucky, North Carolina,
that's crazy.
Like that.
Do you remember the derecho that happened? I don't know if it happened in your area when it came through. I think it came through Ohio region and down around Peru. Did you get backlash from that?
I think that's right. No, not so much. In the county I'm in, not too bad, but there were some counties close by that were affected.
And I know your content has helped a lot of people get into the outdoor skills because I really never was one for bushcraft. However, after seeing the content you're putting out, I'm starting to fall a little bit in love with the bushcraft skills and everything, kind of how it relates to survival preparedness and just normal everyday preparedness as well.
Yeah. I think it all
what would
goes.
you say is the number one skill? Oh, sorry.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Heath.
I was just going to say,
What would you say is
all
the
of it
number
goes
one
hand to hand.
skill? What would you say is the number one skill every beginner should really start with, whether that be, if they're an all-out doomsday prepper or just preparedness in general?
The skill, as far as being prepared, I'd say start with maybe a stockpile of food. That was the question, right? About preparedness. I would say start with that. Maybe, keep
Yes.
Extra lights, keep batteries on hand. I'm a flashlight junkie, but I mean, that's being said, I'm sure you are as well. But, if you're just starting out, have a few lights, have some oil lamps on hand. They work for good lighting as well when there's a power outage.
That is a good point. There's a little bit of lag in between when I talk and I think when it gets to you. And here on the 0 Hour podcast, kind of what I'm trying to get at is we like to dive into the practical side of survival, like you mentioned, and skills that you can use not only in the woods, but also during real world emergency cases. And you mentioned it before, the crossover skills. Out of the bushcraft skills that you know or that you try to pass on to people, what would you say is more important, fire building, shelter work, or tool use? It's just kind of like a first introduction into it.
Well, some folks probably will say shelter building. I'm probably going to say firecraft. Shelter, water, fire, food is that's the acronym a lot of people use. So a lot of people say shelter first, then find your water, then get your fire. But, honing the firecraft skills is probably the most important thing to me. And have I honed them all? Probably not. But we are, pretty lucky on getting things done. We got decent resources here on my property. I got a lot of wooded areas. So, we can gather up different types of fuel and kindling size and, bigger fuel, things like that. Practice in the backyard if we have to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to agree with you on the fire skills because since the dawn of time, man has always found curiosity and satisfaction out of fire. So, I mean, if you are trying to start teaching new people or something, they're probably going to be more keen to furthering their education if they have a basis of fire building.
Absolutely. It gives you warmth.
That is a good valid point.
Right. It's good for morale. It's good for signaling,
There's many uses to fire as well, cooking, and I do agree with you on that. I think fire should be the first basis of trying to further your education.
Right.
And one of the big questions I get from my viewers and just normal people that are trying to start into it, it's about the mindset. In your experience, what mental habits or attitudes matter the most when things kind of go sideways?
Well, I mean, having a prepared mind, that's one thing. But I mean, if you're out there and you're a novice of some sort, I mean, a lot of times I'll take things that help me gain confidence. And sometimes it's just like a picture of my lovely wife or my grandson or whatever. And I'll keep that in the pack and, say, hey, if things do go sideways, I use that as just a reminder to keep me focused, to get to where I need to get, and you just never know. But if you fall and break your leg, you're laying there and you maybe try your best to get a shelter somehow, even if you got a poncho and you can just drape it over you, but you still have that picture or whatever it is one might have with them to remind them. That's my go-to. And, it just helps with morale, helps boost that focus and to keep that mountain grit is what I like to call it.
Yeah. That is good information as well, because on my channel, I'm not trying to push a total preparedness or like total doomsday preparedness. With these skills,
Right.
you can use if you fall and get injured while you're hunting, or if you're out hiking or bushcrafting. So it is good knowledge to know, hey, this is something I could do in case something were to happen if I fall and break my leg and I start panicking. So
I mean, I think anybody that enjoys the outdoors, if you're a hiker, a fisherman, a hunter, and you're just trophy hunting or whatever, not just hunting for meat, but we do have trophy hunters out there. We know this. But I think a lot of them still will prepare a kit to take with them, even though they might not have that whole survival aspect in their mind like you and I. But I think a lot of them still, even if they don't, they might get some knowledge, from videos that you and I put out, or folks, like-minded folks.
And we can't get in the survival conversation without talking about gear. I do know that you posted about your military surplus and stuff. And how would you correlate military surplus with bushcraft and preparedness?
Being in the military myself, I just enjoy using that as gear. Now I have hanging above my head here, I could pull them down and show off, but a lot of them are just mostly tactical bags. You have some folks out there that put content out, traditional bushcraft type content, more towards the days of the old, when they're going to use more canvas type packages, or ways to carry stuff made out of leather, things like that. You'll see them using flint and steel, things like that, which is great. I love that content. There's folks out there that put content out like that are my brothers of mine. But most of my bags are tactical or military surplus. I have an Alice pack right over here. I have the American flag behind me, so I'm patriotic. But to answer your question, it's just, to me, it's just good gear to repurpose in a bushcraft situation. If you're going out on an outing with intent, you know what you're going to be doing, you know what you're going to want to take. Now, you can take other components with that kit that will help you if a survival situation arises, like a signal whistle, things like that.
A lot of that military surplus stuff is quite affordable as well. Like those old Alice packs you was talking about, they're really great alternatives. And I did catch the stream with RG Fabric you had. That was a great stream, and he's making a lot of great products out there.
Yeah, a lot of his canvas, wax canvas material, and that's good for things that he's making, like for folks that like to go out and cook. That's something I enjoy doing, going out just to make a cup of coffee or cook. Skillet bags, even mill bake bags to filtrate water, things like that. So yeah, RG Fabrics, where it's at these days when it comes to that type of gear.
And on the same question here, what's one gear mistake you see a lot of beginners make over and over again? Whether that be like bushcraft equipment or, repeatedly spending money on backpacks or anything such like that.
I tell you what, now I spend a lot of money on backpacks myself, but I still try to be frugal. But I don't know. I think a lot of times, I don't think it's a problem for folks to buy the gear as long as they know how to use it. You don't always have to have a ferro rod out there to do bushcraft stuff. A lot of times it looks cool in an Instagram video. A big glider will work just as well. I got a little short video out there where I talk about making, and a lot of folks do this. They wrap a little duct tape around their big glider, and that way they got a quick tender there if they need it. I don't know. That is a good question and kind of a tough question to answer, but I guess you don't always, a big glider can store in the pocket quicker. It's not really bushcraft, or definitely not traditional bushcraft, but it still ties in with survival and this, that, and the other. It's just a quick way. Now, we know a big glider can fail, but I'm just saying it's still more of a quick go-to.
Yeah. That is correct. Yeah. I do have a bad habit as well. I've got so many backpacks that I don't know what to do with that I just buy over the years, and I end up giving away to people that are hiking, brand new to hiking and stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, I
I
got
do
one kind of displayed a little
that
bit, but
that and her backpack, that multi-cam backpack that you did a review on. Do you still have that backpack?
Amhay, I think that's how you
Yeah,
pronounce it.
I can't. I can never pronounce their name.
Amhay is, I think, how you pronounce it. Amheh. Yeah, I still have it. It's.
That is.
I'll be right back. Hold on just a second here. I can. And it's loaded right now, but yeah, yeah.
That's the first video that got me on your channel right there, was when you did a review on that bag right there.
Yeah, the nice folks over there at Amhay, they sent that my way to do a review. Now we've done a review, we've kind of showed it off, but we have not done a loadout video on this, so we got it loaded out. So we're just waiting on a good time for that video.
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of fun with
And I know you've been building your channel. Oh yeah, shorts. I've been having a really good time producing shorts as well. It's a little bit, I don't know how you feel about this, but it makes me feel like I'm a little bit more creative when I do shorts.
Right. And then just to speak on a little bit real quick on the YouTube side of things when it comes to monetization. I don't make much money when it comes to YouTube. I just have fun doing this. I have been able to get monetized and on Facebook as well. But and it seems like we throw a little bit more content Facebook's way sometimes, because we've been trying to do community posts on YouTube and written posts on Facebook and trying to mix the different content together. And it seems like that really helps. A lot of times I was just posting videos. I don't know. It helps a lot. It seems like our YouTube channel's growing or Facebook's growing. And I even my personal Facebook page, I turned into a professional page, and we're even growing on it.
Do you want to go ahead and take a minute and throw out all your social medias here, Heath? All your names, your Facebooks and everything? That way people can give you a follow on them.
Yeah, of course, it's the Frontier Survival brand. We're on YouTube. You can find us there. If you Google Frontier Survival, just Google that. Most of the time, you'll find all the socials right there. But if you're on Facebook, you find me at Heath Ward. There's an actual Frontier Survival page there as well. And we got a Facebook group called Frontier Survival Family. And it's growing strong, over 3,000 members, close to 4,000. I think my buddy here is part of that group as well. And we have Instagram, and that's about it.
Go ahead and make a banner real quick here and throw up all that for you.
That's fine. I would give you all the handles, but I can't remember how they're all. I'd have to. But
that's
like I said, if you Google it, pretty much it's going to come up. From what I've seen, I Google it myself. Google the name in the incognito tab, and it all pops up. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We do have a TikTok channel, but
you've been building your channel and your community steadily. I mentioned Facebook. What's the most rewarding part about running YouTube channel here on Frontier Survival?
What's the most rewarding part again? What was that?
What's the most rewarding part of having your YouTube channel? Creating content and posting videos for you.
I enjoy doing it. Maybe when someone just leaves a comment on, how well they liked it or whatever. Like I said, entertainment value of it kind of hits me a little bit better. I try to be an exciting personality when I come your way. I kind of always wanted to be in broadcasting, be an announcer, and this kind of gives me that avenue. I always wanted to be maybe Jimmy Fallon or the Tonight Show, or for the older folks that might be listening, Johnny Carson. But I'm just saying, that's kind of rewarding to me, just being able to have that avenue. and used the niche of survival, wilderness survival, bushcraft, prepping, self-reliance, using that niche since I have a passion for that as well. And it all kind of just ties in together.
I always found that interesting. I always tune in your shows when you have them. If I have something planned that day, I always cancel it just to make sure I can tune in your live streams. I've always found them really interesting.
Well, I appreciate that. And that's Mountain Grit, the podcast. We just, we call it Mountain Grit because we're from East Kentucky and it's the Appalachian Mountains, and you just got to have the grit to kind of persevere and strive on and do things, the prepared way if you can. So, we kind of came up with that.
And what's the most challenging part about making survival content today? Anything you wish new creators understood before jumping in?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think new creators, whether it doesn't really matter the niche you pick, and I'll tell you something. I'm 51 years old. I'm not sure how old you are there, but doing this as a person over 40, as a Gen X person, I mean, you'll see a lot of content nowadays of folks over 40, doing this thing, or even over 50, some folks even over 60, or maybe even beyond that. But that's what I'm thinking is, do it as consistent as you can. Now, there's been times where I've just not been able to put out content consistently, but right now I'm able to do that. And I think that's why our short videos helped, being able to put out shorts, whether it be Instagram reels, Facebook reels, or shorts on YouTube, or even short videos on TikTok. I mean, it's helped being able to be more consistent because you can put out a quick 2 or 3 minute video or even 1 minute video. Because over on TikTok, we don't do a lot of survival stuff. We do a lot of lip syncing, and we got pretty good at that. A lot of folks over there say we do good at it. And that goes kind of back to my childhood as well. We used to stand in front of the mirror in our bedroom with their boombox playing a cassette tape, lip syncing in front of the mirror. But, you'll have to go check that out someday. Just look for Hillbilly Heath over there on TikTok. But yeah, consistency and, just share your passion. That's basically what it is with YouTube, whatever it is, social media videos is you're sharing your passion. Now, some folks are just influencers and they're selling other things.
Yeah. I see you got a lot of books back there, Heath. A lot of people don't have that nowadays in their preparedness.
Yeah. And that's the thing is a lot of these books, I've read a lot of them page per page. Some of them I've kind of just skipped through. And a lot of these books I've ordered from Amazon, got from friends, different things. We got Dave Canterbury's Bushcraft 101 and the Advanced Bushcraft. Dave Canterbury is kind of an idol of mine. If you'll check out Facebook, you'll see that I am a top fan. Right here we have the SAS Survival Handbook right there, which was by Lofty Wiseman there. He does pretty good. I guess our audio here is pretty good. We've been wearing our mic.
I can hear you real good, Heath.
Okay. I'm just making sure I don't want to be too loud either. Yeah, a lot of great things. A good friend of mine right here from East Kentucky, some folks know you probably heard of Craig Cottle. He owns Nature Reliance School. I got his book here somewhere I was trying to find.
And that's the thing too. We live in a modern age that people really don't buy the physical copies of books and knowledge. And I think that's really important to have the physical copies of everything in case, they're not able to rely on your cell phone. You have that physical copy of that knowledge within your hand.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of ebooks too. I forgot about that. I got folks sending me emails saying, "Hey, well, you want to check out my ebook? Leave a review on Amazon." Now, some of these I think are written by artificial intelligence. But anyway.
I kind of me and you both are from the Appalachian region, and some of our viewers might not be. So the way of life is completely different from every other aspect of the United States. I mean, I'm going as far out to say we probably live 20 to 30 years behind of everywhere else within the country in certain parts of the region of Appalachia.
Oh yeah,
and
that's true.
I do think that kind of builds the foundation of why so many people are prepared within the Appalachian regions. And it doesn't have to be, total doomsday apocalyptic preparedness, but a lot of people do prepare for natural disasters around here.
Right. And then, a lot of folks raise gardens, and you don't have to be a prepper to raise a garden. It just helps you have more food. If you're a farmer, you're pretty much going to raise some type of crop, right? Or livestock or whatever. Gardens start on the porch, I'll say. You can grow vegetables in a bucket on a porch. So, I mean, it's no big deal. Or if you live in an apartment, you can end up growing some tomatoes somehow on your balcony in a bucket or something like that.
The Appalachian lifestyle is completely different from anywhere else, and I do think it relies heavily on the depression and the coal resources that got washed out after a while, and it's people lived rough through here, and they had to adapt and overcome in the Appalachian region.
Yeah, and then one of our most recent podcasts we've done, we talked about that, how a lot of folks came this way or left this region back in the day to go find work up north. Now you got folks coming back, ancestors of those folks, or even folks from out west that are just wanting more simpler life. I think it's mostly what it is. I know of some folks right here that moved from Big Bear, California, here in the county I live in, and that's what they've kind of done was start a homestead. Oh,
we've had 2 people come into my hometown that moved from California.
Oh yeah. See, it's happening everywhere, which is fine. These guys are pretty cool. I mean, it took them a little while to adjust, but I've got to know them since they come into the hardware store I work and get supplies and things. So they're good folks.
And I did have a question here with Bushcraft tools. I believe it's a Scottish eye auger, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
That allows you to make holes and stuff. Would that be
correct,
something that would be a beneficial thing to place in a bug out bag?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, if you are bugging out, and it would help you even build a shelter. You wouldn't have to use that much cordage and things like that. You can kind of drill out holes and use the other end to make pegs, and you kind of do some joinery there.
I believe that was. Oh, go ahead, Heath.
Oh, I was trying to type back. Somebody said hello there in the chat. What was you going? Go ahead.
I had one more question for you, and before we wrap everything up, if you had to give one person a piece of knowledge getting into bushcraft or just rural preparedness with natural disasters, what one piece of advice would you give them?
Just keep your focus. Gear is not, gear's great, but there's other things out there. Have a good mindset, learn some skills, practice those skills, and become sufficient in those skills as you best can, and just continue to enjoy. Because most of us, when it all comes down to it, we're into this because we enjoy being in the outdoors. I don't know why any prepper or homesteader or bushcrafter or survivalist if they didn't have a love for the outdoors, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing, I don't think. And it all kind of ties in, and just keep the focus and have fun doing it, you know, if you possibly can. You know, don't be so serious all the time. I mean, there's serious situations, but you gotta have fun, you know.
You definitely got to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, Heath, I want to thank you again for joining us tonight. Your insight is always solid, and I love watching your videos. And make sure you tune into the Frontier Survival Mountain Grip podcast. And I believe it's every other Saturday, Heath.
Yeah. I think we got something scheduled this coming Saturday. So, yeah, we have a week of promotional material coming your way.
Make sure you go and subscribe to Frontier Survival on YouTube. He puts out definitely good quality videos and definitely educational videos here. If you enjoyed this live stream, hit that like button down below, drop a comment, make sure you subscribe for more episodes 0 hour. Do you have anything you'd like to include, Heath?
Just keep that mountain grip.
Well, thanks for joining tonight, Heath.
You too, brother. I appreciate it.
We'll see you around.
Have you on.
I definitely like that.
All right. Thank you, sir.